Shalom. Call along Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Chakodash. Shanya Kabad Gadwala Rakwab Zakwanyam Nawa. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom, Wabarakim, Labakaram, Shayasharala. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel, and to the confusion of faces that look like the other nations, but whose spirits resonate with the truth of these scriptures, and that believe and have faith in the names of Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai, the only begotten Son. To all of you brothers, no matter how you look, I want to say peace and blessings to you, all right? Shalom, Wabarak, and peace and blessings. Excuse me. So, through the Spirit, I just wanted to come back. I mentioned in my last video that I will make an update to it because I knew that more information would be coming out very, very soon. And the Spirit led me to these new articles. So as a very brief recap, we understand that the Syrian government, hypothetically, let me throw that word out there, dropped chemical bombs on their own people. Now you have America that wants to come in there and they want to act like they're the heroes. But I mentioned in my last video that I believe America actually dropped those chemicals, or they just gave the chemical warfare ability to Syria to do so for their own behalf, for their own desire to go in there. So just wanted to give a recap of what's going on over there in the Middle East. Yahweh Shabbat, which is in the ancient Hebrew, the Lashwan Kodash, which means the decision, or the judgment rather, the judgment of Yahweh. All right. So this article says, and Yahweh again being the Heavenly Father. So this says Trump taunts Russia. Says U.S. military response coming in Syria. Now you see, first of all, in the article, this is geared towards Russia. You know, just peep that already. It's truly not about, Syria's a player in there. Turkey's a player. Iran, Afghanistan, they're all players. China's a big player. But, with that being said, Russia and the U.S. they're the two biggest players right now in terms of this war that's happening. Again, China's in there, Iran is in there. Of course, Israel is in there, but it's really, in terms of war, it's Russia right now against the U.S. That's the West against the East. So Trump taunts Russia concerning Syria, right? So President Donald Trump warned Russia. Why is he warning Russia? President Donald Trump warned Russia on Wednesday that it should get ready, right, for a missile strike on Syria, vowing to thwart any missile defenses, meaning, I didn't look it up, I should have, meaning he's going to just go through it. You can't stop us, basically. You can't stop our missiles. Doesn't matter what kind of defense system you have, we're going to penetrate through it, right? But peep it, though. Peep game. Why is he warning Russia? That's how you know. Let me just go to the scripture really quickly. This is the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 21. And we're going to go at verse 1. And it reads, the king's heart, meaning it's your mind, the king's mind is in the hand of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Right? So it's all about Babylon the Great, which is America, and Gog and Magog, which is Russia, right? It goes on to read, Russia vows to shoot down any and all missiles fired at Syria, right? They're being a guard. Get ready, Russia, because they will be coming nice and new and smart. Oh, this is what Trump is saying. Okay, you shouldn't be partners with a gas-killing animal who kills his people and enjoys it. But then how did they get this land? How did his people get this land? They did the same exact thing. Rape, robbery, and murder, right? So that was actually his tweet. Russia vows to shoot down any and all missiles fired at Syria. Okay, he's being sarcastic. Get ready, Russia, because they will be coming, right? So as we can see, that's a threat. It's a threat to Russia, but he's talking about shooting down Syria. Why? Because the scriptures, and I'm going to get it, Lord willing, Ezekiel 38, we have to bring out these same scriptures constantly over and over again. Why? Because it's prophecy. The book of Habakkuk tells you, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth. Why? Because we're not supposed to take these metaphors, these parables and proverbs and dark sayings, and then tell it to you in a different parable in another form. No, we're going to tell you this is what the scripture says. This is what's happening in the world, right? That he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, and though it tarry, Wait for it shall not tarry, right? For in the end it shall speak and not tarry, Salakia. That's what it says, right? So, where are we at? Russia vows you shouldn't be partners with a gas-killing animal who kills his people and enjoys it. The public suggestion of U.S. military confrontation with Russia is sure to raise tensions in an already volatile situation and add more confusion to U.S. policy in the region. Trump said earlier this month, before the weekends, I don't even want to get into all that. That's the point in this article, so I'm going to just jump to the next one really quickly. No need to make this, a long video. All these things, this is quick now. We understand what's going on. We've gone over these scriptures various times, and now we're in a time where, war is in the air. These nations are beating their plowshares into pruning hooks, right? It says Moscow to Trump, are smart missiles an attempt, Salakia, are smart missiles an attempt to destroy alleged chemical attack evidence in Syria? So we just read that he's going to shoot missiles over there in Syria because they're saying the Syrian government, or what's his name, Bashar al-Assad, dropped chemicals on its own people. Now we have to be the hero and go over there and do something about it, right? But now that was geared towards Russia. But now Russia's coming back and saying, wait, and they're using the word smart because that was his tweet, right? He's being sarcastic. So Russia's coming back and saying, wait, are you just trying to shoot missiles over there because it's going to get rid of evidence that you actually did it yourself, right? So let's read. Responding to a threat. Salakia, hold on. Yeah. It says, responding to a threat from U.S. President Donald Trump, who said Russia should prepare for nice, new, and smart missiles launched by America at Syria, Moscow said if the weapons were smart, they would target terrorists. Smart missiles should fly towards terrorists, not Syria's lawful government, which has spent several years fighting against international terrorism on its territory. Russian Foreign Minister spokesman Maria Zakharova said in a response to Trump's tweet on Wednesday. She added the U.S. may be seeking, here it is, she added the U.S. may be seeking to undermine an inspection by chemical weapons experts who are planning to investigate on the ground in Syria after the alleged attack which sparked the current confrontation between Russia and the U.S. So you can see, obviously, just like I mentioned in my last video through the Spirit, U.S., and we all knew it, it's common sense if you have the eyes to see it, U.S. is just trying to go in there for their own purposes. So now they have to make it seem like they've always done in the past, make it seem like something is wrong with that government, and that person, whether people are being bribed, whether they're getting paid off, who knows and who cares, right? At the end of the day, the point is America is trying to do their best. Babylon the Great is trying to do their best to oppress nations like they have in the past. They're going to go in there and then what? Revelation 11 verse 14. The second woe is past and the third woe cometh quickly, right? World War III. Armageddon, right? It's coming. So it goes on to read, are the OPCW inspectors aware that smart missiles are about to destroy all evidence of the chemical weapons used on the ground? Why? Because America really did it? Or is that the actual plan? To cover up all evidence of this fabricated attack with smart missile strikes so that international inspectors had no evidence or have no evidence to look for, right? And that really is a plan, but all these things, hopefully, whether America actually shoots missiles over there in Syria or not, World War III is on the horizon and it will happen. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, if U.S. really does shoot missiles over there, because that will really be a fulfillment of Ezekiel 38 coming to pass. Right now, these are just talks, but we know at the end of the day, Russia will be a backing and a guard to these nations, right? So, really quickly, all right, I'm going to just jump to one more article. I've been talking a lot, but we're going to jump into the scriptures right after this article. It says, and these are all new articles. April 11th, right? It says mapped World War III fears with Russia and U.S. as Trump ready to strike Syria in hours. It reads, World War III is feared to be on the verge of breaking out between Russia and the West as the two powers go on a collision course over Syria, right? It goes on to read, outrage has swept the world following the latest chemical, and not really, because these average people out here in Babylon don't know what's going on. They're not watching the news, and if they are watching the news, they're watching Fox and CBS and CNN, in which they're not reporting on such things as this. That's why the Lord said a watchman, so that we can, sound the alarm, lift up our voices like a trumpet and let the people know what's really going on in this world. The people meaning the hopeful elect, or the elect in general, wherever they are. We only make these videos for the elect. So with that being said, going back, it says outrage has swept the world following the latest chemical attack in the war-torn country believed to have been carried out by the Syrian regime Bashar al-Assad. At least 45 people were killed when toxic gas and barrel bombs were dumped on the town of Douma. U.S. President Donald Trump is now feared to be just hours away from launching a major strike on Syria. Again, whether it happens or not, it's all prophecy. World War III is going down. World War III is going down for real. Russia and the U.S. will be at loggerheads as Vladimir Putin is expected to back. You see? As Vladimir Putin is expected to back Assad should Trump once again attack Syria. Because why? He did it last year, but people just don't know about it. Right? So, with that being said, I'm going to jump right into Ezekiel 38 again. We have to bring out these same scriptures, these same prophecies. If they're coming to pass, we're going to bring it out. All right? I'll start at verse... I'll just get right to the point. So we're talking about Gog and Magog. Ezekiel 38 verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So the Lord is just using Russia, right, for the purpose in which we're reading about through these articles and right here to fulfill prophecy. It goes on to read, this is right here, right, verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. So all those nations, and again, I mentioned who all they were in the last video. Verse 7, be thou prepared, this is the point, be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them, right? Be thou a guard unto them. And that's exactly what's going on. All these nations are being assembled right now. And then what's going on? Russia is being a guard until all these nations, right? Going back to the article, Russia and the U.S., will be at loggerheads as Vladimir Putin is expected to back Assad should Trump once again attack Syria. Who knows if they will or not? It goes on to read, tonight, Trump, Theresa May, and French President Emmanuel Macron have agreed over the phone that there needs to be a response to the chemical attack. You know why? Who says you have to go in there? Military activity is being reported across the region with rumors, check this out. Military activity is being reported across the region. With rumors, British warplanes are on alert in Cyprus, U.S. warships off the Syrian coast, and Russian jets and air defense missiles deployed over Syria. All those nations again. All right? So brothers should know where I'm going again. Joel, the 3rd chapter. Oh, Salakia, hold on. Here we are. Joel 3. And we're going to jump right to verse maybe 9. Yep, why not? Joel 3 verse 9, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, meaning all the other nations. Prepare war. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords. So we're taking all of the money you had, and you're taking all the money you put towards agriculture and food, and you're turning it into what? You're taking that same money and you're building up your military. You're building up your military might, all your weapons and everything. That's your swords, your tanks, your ICBM missiles, your intercontinental ballistic missiles. So beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Salakia, if I didn't quote that correctly earlier, reading it now, all right? Joel 3 verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords. I believe I did, not sure. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Why are they strong? Because they have the backing of Gog and Magog. All right? So that's the point on that, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. And this is exactly what's going on. Jumping back to that article. All right? It says, the British warplanes on alert in Cyprus. U.S. warships off the Syrian coast. And Russia jets and air defense missiles deployed over Syria. Right? Daily Star Online can now reveal the military forces standing by amid the Middle East, amid fears of World War III. All right? Because World War III is on the horizon. But with that being said, and I believe I mentioned it in my last video, World War III cannot pop off yet until the mark of the beast, which truly is the microchip, gets made mandatory. So we're looking for that microchip to be made mandatory first. And again, be on the alert, because if World War III can just pop off any day like this, if we're so close, that means we need to be looking for something crazy to happen in, like the next terrorist attack. I believe, I brought it out in one of my videos, maybe a week or two ago. But concerning the microchip, it's been around for years. The microchip technology has been around for probably since the 80s or 70s, something like that. And then it was just made for animals, right? And then all of a sudden, when you had the 9/11 attack, then the U.S. government came out and said that they want to actually change the technology, the microchip technology, right, towards putting it into humans. Ever since the 9/11 attack, in which we believe that was their plan the entire time. They knew it. You can read different, or watch rather, different interviews from the Rothschilds. This was their plan years and years and years back. Why? Because it's actually the plan of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? It's all for his prophecy, his words to be fulfilled. But look out for something crazy to happen. Look out for more uproars and riots. Uproars and riots of the people. Look out for more natural disasters. Definitely look out for more shootings, because through taking away the gun laws, the gun so-called rights of these people, it's going to start more uproars, riots, protests, things like that, which will do what? Then usher in an excuse, if you will, for martial law, especially since the dollar is collapsing. And then that's going to bring what? Famine. It's going to bring famine and all kinds of pestilences and diseases, which means what? We're not going to be out on the highways and byways anymore. We're not going to be prophesying like this anymore. Why would we be prophesying during a time of tribulation, during a time of martial law and famine and things like that, when people are killing each other, raping, women and robbing each other? No, we're going to just be having faith and being as what? Pilgrims. That's what we're going to be doing. Praying to the Lord even more in that day. Obviously, we should be praying right now, right? Of course, but just saying, in that time, everything's going to be turned up. The Lord is going to put his spirit upon us, and we're going to be actually, walking and being led through the spirit in that time. But again, we're looking for, all these prophecies to come to pass before World War III is actually broken up, or is actually started. So some kind of huge terrorist attack has to happen. It must happen. And we believe it's going to happen very soon in order for that microchip to be made mandatory. So be watching out for that, all right? So just wanted to make a quick update concerning what's going on over there in the Middle East. I pray that this was edifying. And once again, and always, giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Chakodash, Shan Yikabad, Gadawala Rakwab, Zakwanyam Nawa, double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, in Shalawam, Wabarakim, Labakaram, Shayasharala. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Till the next time, Shalawam.